Hello, my name is Dawn H. Jones and I'm here to help you be HR wise. Now, what happens in a disciplinary hearing is a mystery to most people. I know it was for me for a long time as a junior HR advisor. And for most employees, the prospect of a disciplinary hearing is enough, but the unknown of what happens, who says what and when compounds their stress levels. So today, I want to give you an overview of the format of a disciplinary hearing. Now, bear in mind this may vary from organisation to organisation. However, I will give you a good overview and insight. Oh, and I've put all of this in a free download for you. You can click on the link in the description. Let's start with defining a disciplinary hearing and looking at the parties typically present for part or whole of the hearing. So, a disciplinary hearing is an internal formal meeting for an employer to consider allegations against an employee. The parties that are typically present for part or the whole of the hearing are, the manager chairing the hearing, who is known as a chair. Then there's the manager presenting the disciplinary investigation report. There is often at least one or sometimes two HR advisors. Then there's the employee that has to answer the allegations. Then the employee may have a trade union rep or workplace colleague accompanying them. Then, if applicable, there are witnesses and a note taker that keeps a note of the proceedings. Now, if you want to know more about the roles or of any of these parties, I have a video on 8 key roles in the disciplinary process, and I'll put the link in the description. Now, as I said earlier, what happens in a disciplinary hearing is a mystery to most people. I've worked in organisations that have helpfully put a flowchart illustrating the process in their policy. On the other hand, it may be in a list style. Either way is helpful for all parties to understand the order of the hearing, what to expect, and be as informed as possible. Plus, they can use the written order of the hearing to follow the proceedings. Now let's look at the hearing itself. I'm going to break this into several parts to make it as easy as possible for you to follow. Number 1, introductions and the purpose of the hearing. Number 2, the management case. 3, the employee case. 4, summing up. And 5, the outcome of the hearing. Let's look at these 5 points in turn. First up, introductions and the purpose of the hearing. The chair of the hearing is responsible for directing and overseeing the hearing process. They will start by introducing the parties present and their roles. They will also explain the purpose of the hearing, the procedure, and the allegations under consideration. And the chair will also confirm with the employer and their representative that they have a copy of all the hearing papers. And the chair should also inform the employer that they can request an adjournment if they need to confer with their representative or their colleague. Okay, let's move on to the next part of the hearing, the management case. The presenting manager will present the management case, and this is also sometimes known as the investigation report, and they'll call witnesses relevant to their case. The chair may have questions or point of clarification for each witness. Then they'll ask the employee answerable to the allegations whether they have questions they want to ask the witness. In addition, the chair may also have questions themselves to ask the presenting manager regarding the management case or the investigation report, and again, they will ask the employee who's answerable to the allegations whether they also have questions for the manager about the management case. Now, before we move on to the next part of the hearing, I will do a quick recap at this point. So the chair introduces the hearing, remember that, parties and process, and confirms the employee and their representative have the hearing paper. And then the presenting manager presents the management case and calls their witness. And the chair and the employee answerable to the allegations have the opportunity to ask questions of the witness, the manager presenting the management case, or points of clarification. Now, let's go to the employee case. The employee or their representative presents their case and calls witnesses relevant to their case. The hearing chair may also have questions or points of clarification for each of these witnesses. And then the hearing chair and the manager presenting the management case can ask the employee questions or clarify any points. In addition, again, the chair may also have questions, this time for the employee, about their conduct and their case. And the hearing chair will also ask the presenting manager whether they have questions for the employee about their case. Now, it's important to know that if any new facts emerge at any point, during the hearing, it will be for the hearing chair to decide whether further investigation is required. If so, the hearing will be adjourned and reconvened when further investigation is complete. But let's assume that everything's okay. We'll move to summing up. If no further investigation is required, the presenting manager will summarise their case, followed by the employee and their representative or the colleague accompanying them. The hearing chair will call an adjournment to consider all the evidence presented, including the seriousness of the allegation, any mitigation, and the action applied in similar cases. Now to the outcome. Once the hearing chair has decided on the hearing outcome, they will reconvene the hearing, so all parties come back into the room and inform the individual of their decision. Now, if a warning is applied, the chair will explain what the warning is and the duration of that sanction. Or, in the event of a dismissal, whether the dismissal is with notice or effective immediately. In addition, the chair will inform the individual of their right to appeal. The hearing chair will confirm the outcome and details of how to appeal their decision, how the employee can appeal their decision in writing. So that's the format of a disciplinary hearing. All right, I know it can be challenging to follow, so let's quickly do a recap of the 5 parts of the hearing. Number 1, introductions and the purpose of the hearing. Number 2, the management case. 3, the employee case. 4, summing up. 5, the outcome of the hearing. Now, I've outlined all of this in your free download this week. You can click on the link in the description and download it. So that's a format of a disciplinary hearing. Remember, it may vary from organisation to organisation, but it should give you a good idea.